Time to settle the score once and for all. Free. What? Time to settle the score once and free for all. Who thought of this? I guess you're just trying to say it's a free for all, but it's not. It's an organized tournament. It's not a free for all. There's all these rules. There's a ratio system. It's not a free for all at all. Hey, what is up? It's me, the guy, and we are in the Flophouse today where we are overflowing with an abundance of fun. And I thought I'd do something a little different this time around. Look at the very well-aged fighting game advertisements from magazines from back in the day. The 90s mostly, but got a little bit of 2000s edge sprinkled in there as well. But I plunged deep into the archives to find some special things, and a few people helped me out with a few rare finds. So I thought we'd just take a stroll down memory lane and see what the hell type of drugs were they smoking back then, and maybe do a little rating. I don't think this is a tier list type thing, because how are you supposed to get every single fighting game advertisement? That's essentially impossible, but I think I got a very good sample size, so let's all cringe together. All right, so you got to start off somewhere, right? And I thought this Mortal Kombat advert for specifically the arcade version, sets the tone. I don't know what this kid's deal is. He looks like the oldest kid in the world. He looks like he's like 45. There's something about his face, his expression, his weird little shorts, and they actually got the real actors here to grab these children into the world of Mortal Kombat. But yeah, it's an all-time classic. You know, it's so real that it hurts. And I love how these kids just wandered into this nebulous, mist-filled alley or in a back of the arcade room, and they're just, hey, what's going on here? Whoa, whoa. So I actually really like this ad just because it's a lot of, it's very simple, shows the arcade game, shows the characters, and it shows like the modern kids of today of 1992, being enraptured with what Mortal Kombat was selling. So I think it's an excellent advert and a really great example of what was acceptable in the 90s. So next we have Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Now, a lot of ads for Capcom games back in the day kind of looked like this, Street Fighter specifically. And again, this is more of a tone setter, but I just love, you've got to be fast to last. Now, I am a living example of this, but in some ways, but I don't think there are too many advertisements for Street Fighter 2 up to that point, because it was going to be a success, but it wasn't quite there. And then when it got to advertising the later revisions of Street Fighter, they went all out. I'm sure there was some. I couldn't really find many for the original Street Fighter 2 because it was kind of new at the time, I guess. But once these ads started coming out, every single fighting game had to. In Street Fighter 2 Turbo, slow doesn't go. Because extensive training has not only made the 8 fighters and 4 grandmasters faster and stronger, it's given them a whole new arsenal of kicks, punches, and special moves. Get rep for 78 possible matches, where if you're not fast, you'll never know what hit you. So yeah, really selling the speed aspect of it. Yeah, and I always give it up for this box art. I love that it just shows the box art really zoomed up, gives an idea of what the game plays just by that, because it's a good image. Say what you want about this illustrator's style that he did for all the Street Fighter 2 box arts. I personally loved it. As a kid, I thought they looked great. What's wrong with them? They look fine. So now we're getting a bit into the weirder ones. Ironically, this is for Street Fighter 1. I just included it because I have to. Bad to the bone. These are the streets, and there are no rules when you do battle here. Street Fighter, one word, is strictly survival of the fittest against 8 of the baddest dudes from around the world. Watch out for flying scissor kicks, lethal ninja weapons, and other evil tricks. Block their attacks while you counter with jabs and roundhouse kicks. Don't drop your guard, because these guys aren't just bad, they're bad to the bone. Just get your favorite software retailer, Capcom USA, blah, blah, blah. So they really didn't want to pay for the rights to that song, but they still wanted to use it. I don't know who this is supposed to be. I guess Ryu, but it's not accurate because he doesn't have long sleeves. Doesn't really have his build, so I don't know. A personal favorite of mine, as to why I'm even including this, is try a roundhouse kick against an English Street Tough. That is not an English Street Tough. I believe that's Chin Wong. I forget his name. Lee. Is it Lee? I think it's Lee. Anyway, yeah, so that's not one of the English fighters, Eagle or Birdie, so that's wrong. Dodge lethal ninja weapons of Geki. At least that's correct. Good stuff. Very, very nice stuff. It's a pretty bad advert though, because it's not. If they showed the character, I'd be like, okay, that's a little bit better. And just leaning so heavily on bad to the bone. Get out of here, Capcom. All right, so PlayStation, quite infamous for using Sophia as the centerpiece of their launch of the PlayStation. The PlayStation wouldn't be what it is today without Battle Arena Toshinden. It would have failed, and it owes all that success to Sophia here. Sophia says, spend your money to reserve a Sony PlayStation. Sophia says, give the money to your local video game store and do it now. Sophia says, get on your knees and bark like a dog. Woof, woof. Now give Sophia a kiss. This isn't the only one that they use Sophia on, and because she has the Dommy Mommy vibes, I guess that's why we have to do what Sophia says. But yeah, just standing on the PlayStation above, she didn't say Sophia says. Now she has to hurt you. So fucking 90s as hell. Kind of amazing. And the fact that I tried to pass this off, this render, as like what the graphics look like on Toshinden 1, it's a little ridiculous. It's not quite that smooth. A little bit more polygons in there, but yeah. Again, every single PlayStation game that ever came out owes itself to Sophia. She was the mascot of the character. The weird blue-headed PlayStation man, the severed head, he had nothing on Sophia. She's the real star. But yeah, I think this is one of the earlier examples of using sex as a tactic here. And yeah, like I said, this isn't the only Sophia ad, but I have to say this isn't too bad. It draws your eye in. It really is clearly trying to market the PlayStation almost above. It doesn't even say Toshinden. It's more of an ad for the PlayStation, but at least they have a nice, like, zoomed up picture of a character, and there's nothing too weird or gross here, so I think it's solid. You know, this one was coming. This is, pretty famous. It is absolutely so Sega. The game is never over, and obviously there's some domestic violence going on, but yeah, that's what they're going. I love how it's essentially an ad for the 32X version and Mega Drive specifically. So I guess this was a UK creation, which does not surprise me. The UK advertising agencies were unhinged as fuck. They played by no rules. They didn't give a shit. So yeah, this is not going to be the only UK ad that we see, but yeah, it's pretty famous. I will say this is a really nice drawing of it. I think everything is represented here well. I don't mind the fact that it says domestic violence. I think it would be fine if it was like, you know, it'd be funny if it was Jackie and Sarah playing the game, like fake mocking playing Virtua Fighter, or just fighting hand to hand because they're brother and sister, or have Pai and Lao, that type of thing. I think that could have been a little less infamous, but maybe that's why this is so well remembered today. I do have to say it is a good ad just in terms of like visuals and stuff. Again, it's aged pretty poorly, and they probably shouldn't have done this with these particular characters here, but the screenshots are presented well, and I actually think incorporating the screenshot into here was also a double way to get what the game looks like across. The 32X version does not look like that. I can tell you that for free. Slightly less safe than playing chicken blindfolded on the M1 with your legs tied together whilst juggling live grenades with one hand tied behind your back as a rapid pit bull leaps at you. MK3. Ultimate MK3. Who wrote this? This seems like a gag from an AVGN video. Just talking about how accurate you have to be in certain games. But yeah, it's that for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the Saturn. which was desperate as all hell at that point, because the Saturn was essentially over in America, or anywhere outside of Japan at that point, and like they struggled really hard with like a port of Mortal Kombat 2 in the face of MK3's 32-bit PlayStation exclusivity. So yeah, it was pretty embarrassing. If you're like a Mortal Kombat fan, you only had a Saturn, you had to make do with that for a while, until I barely even knew that Ultimate MK3 came out on the Saturn, because it was just kind of over. Plus the PlayStation had gotten Mortal Kombat Trilogy at that point, and the N64. I don't think the Saturn even had that. So yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. This sucks. I'm gonna just say, like, yeah, I guess this is supposed to draw your eye in and you can't help but read it. I just think it's terrible. Like there's no imagery from the game at all. I've never even seen this particular logo before for MK3. So really, really weird. I don't think it does the game any favors here. Doesn't sell the characters, doesn't sell the graphics. So some people wonder why Sega started to struggle with their branding and stuff with the Saturn, because I don't think the advertising was nearly as good as it was for the Genesis, or even some of the add-ons and stuff. So yeah, kind of a loser ad for losers. Sophia is back. Yep. She brought 2 friends as well. You know you want it, and you know they want to play it with fantastic lighting and special effects, new characters in armed combat. It's underlined. It's very important. It's bigger. It's better. It's Battle Arena Toshinden 2. And the crazy part about this is that right at the end of that, it's bigger. It's better. It's Battle Arena Toshinden 2. And it's from Capcom. Isn't that weird? So I've talked about this in previous videos, but Capcom just produced the arcade hardware that Toshinden 2 ran on, which was weird because the first Toshinden wasn't for the arcades. I don't think it was. Was it? I don't even remember anymore. Anyway, easy conversion from CPS2 and JAMA. So yeah, Capcom helped out with that release just for the arcade. It's just still so strange. And yeah, using Sophia, thankfully it's like a nice anime drawing like from the actual game. I will say, like, I don't like all this text here, like the colors and stuff. It just kind of blends in, especially over here. It gets all nasty and stuff. But I mean, it's not terrible. It's certainly going for something here, hoping to catch both your eyes. I just wanted to give some closure on the Sophia marketing mascot that she used to be once upon a time. Jumping from Sophia to Nina Williams. Now, a couple of Tekken 2 ads were like this, where they highlighted a character, which I think is really smart. You can see it's a 2-page ad. So yeah, like some CG stuff, a big render of their face, and some screenshots. Meet Nina, blonde, beautiful, the girl next door. That is, if you live next door to a 22-year-old paid assassin, the Irish Aikido expert will take out anyone, from the helpless lackey to a head of state. It's a matter of money, it's a matter of pride, so it's selling the character. Nina Williams would like to take you out. Unfortunately, it's not on a date. The greatest fighters on earth. And that's sick, I actually think. So I remember there's one for Yoshimitsu, maybe Heihachi, but I might be thinking of an ad for Tekken 3. Anyway, there's a reason why Tekken only got more and more popular as it went on, because yeah, they're focusing on their characters and not stupid weird gimmicks and like nonsensical imagery that had nothing to do with the game. So a very good ad. I think everything looks visually pretty strong. I just think it's a smart idea. Hey, we have cool characters. Why don't we sell our game based on that? And, you know, not like weird fart humor from the 90s. Speaking of using your marketing correctly, this is actually... I thought it took until at least DOA 2, if not 3, for them to really start leaning into the girls. But Dead or Alive 1 super did it. 38 reversals, 24 overhead grabs, 36 combination moves, 38, 24, 36. This is way too smart. For 90s game ads, and a little subtle too, you know, maybe not subtle by nowadays, but certainly subtle back then. So yeah, 2 nice pieces of art for the girls, Tina and Lei Fang. 3 pretty decent screenshots, all things considered. It's coming in February. You might be coming then soon. So I actually think this is like pretty solid, all things considered. It wasn't able to find many DOA ads outside of like just really, really boring ones when there wasn't much to say. But yeah, this is actually kind of strong. Good job, Tecmo from 1996.
So this is another example of Capcom doing stuff pretty solidly. The Fighter's Edge days. They can only find pants in the children's department. Restaurants, they require a booster chair. They can't reach the gas pedal. No wonder they're always looking for a fight. Before you lay claim to having the best fighting games, you better have the best fighters. We do. Obviously, this is just, fairly clever wording. It's not being too weird. Just focusing on how cute the characters are. Gotta have a picture of Morgan, though. Innocent but deadly pint-sized champions pack one heck of a punch. Hilarious, that's very key, head-to-head battles. Don't be caught short. Catch this brand new hit in the Fighter's Edge program. So yeah, I think this is fairly strong. All the Fighter's Edge stuff that Capcom was doing is like this torn paper, and it's striking because it's just red on white. This draws your eye in over there. The Capcom logos is, all things considered, very strong advertising here. I would really actually like a new Pocket Fighter. I don't know about you guys, but I would love that to return. Abs. They're pretty cool abs, I guess. This is Versus, which I don't even remember if I've played. I think I might have rented it once. I'll Take You Out. Her name is Mia. Her age is 19. Thank God. Measurement 36, 24, 36. She's a rave DJ. So yeah, Versus. This is one of the few only actual core fighting game made by THQ. Very classy THQ on the underwear there. So this, for those that don't remember, Versus is just a reskin of another 3D fighting game from Japan, Fighter's Impact. So yeah, they just redid all the characters and stuff, and maybe there's some gameplay changes I don't really remember. I kind of remember seeing this ad back in the day. I don't think the character is amazing. Their stare is just so blank. It's just so early 3D render. It's not great, but at least it's focusing on a character, obviously leaning into sexy stuff a little bit. Versus, terrible name for a fighting game. That's just, you have a blank and a blank on either side of it, then you're cooking. But other than that, it's a pretty decent ad, very DOA style, but I guess that's what THQ is probably looking for. And see where that got them. Oh shit, son, it's time for Mace the Dark Age, where everything's a weapon. Meet Namira. She'll break your heart, crush your bones, kick you into a lava pit, then she'll sneer at your weapon, and she's one of the nice ones. Don't go there. So they did a couple of these for several characters in Mace the Dark Age, and yeah, really strong stuff. I remember one for, where is he? Lord Demo, so he's on the little pictures. Anyway, it's Mace, the Dark Age, the most graphically stunning 3D fighting game to ever come home. In fact, Next Generation says, Mace is well on its way to being the best 3D fighting game for the N64, which is not It's just not a great standard. There are 10 death-seeking adversaries, 2 devilishly difficult bosses, and 7 hidden characters. Each one has a deadly weapon or 2, and so many moves and combos you'll need a high pain threshold just to watch. A word for the wise: don't go there if you're getting your face kicked in. Suggest you hit the 3D dodge button. It might just save your butt, not to mention your life. Look how great this art is. Namira, fucking goated, super awesome character, but all the characters in Mace are awesome, so you could have done this with anyone, it would have worked. It's just a really good image. It feeds into sort of the old papyrus style. I love this old Photoshop texture in the back. And yeah, keep nice artwork on here, separate it into 2. I think that's fine. And again, selling the characters, which is a big deal, but man, fucking Mace needs to come back. It never, ever, ever will, but I want it to real bad. Why didn't balls sell well? Why didn't balls sell well? Here's probably one of the main reasons. So imagine you open up a magazine, it's a 2-page spread, and you have to squint harder than you've ever fucking squinted to look at these tiny fucking screenshots that barely show you anything. 3 times more moves than flat 2D fighting games like groveling, humiliation, spanking, decapitation, nut busting, flying spit, all the other stuff that makes life worth living. So I'm guessing what they thought here was well, we can't show screenshots because the game looks stupid. It doesn't look very appealing compared to every other fighting game that has cool, awesome, detailed fighters. So let's just say balls a bunch. The kids will love that. Better knock this guy stupid before he sucks your head up with that big old rhino butt of his. What?
After that, you'll have to fight 16 brawlers of the rudest kind. You know, the sort that likes to pick its nose till it bleeds. This is 90s at all. Is this an Earthbound ad? 3D fighting ad's ballsy. It's now on Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. The only thing that feels better than ripping a good long stun fart is ripping a good long stun fart in 3D. Game is not in 3D. It's massive lies. So yeah, balls. This ad is balls. It's just so unappealing from every single angle you could possibly look at it. So yeah, it's not surprising that I did a worst fighting game episode on this game. So this is kind of innocuous, not too offensive. Oh wait, no, it's Street Fighter the movie. It is. Never mind. So only the best are granted superpower moves, whatever that means. Eon's 100 hand slap like you've never seen it before. It's actually incredibly like you've seen it before. It behaves almost exactly like it does in the regular games, because this is the home version we're talking about. Jean-Claude Van Damme is Colonel Guile, is not giving a shit, is hopped up on cocaine. Sawada, whole new character from the movie. Using Sawada as a selling point is based as fuck. Devastate your opponent with new super combo moves. Now, there are a couple of new moves in the game, so I guess that's not inaccurate. This is the ultimate way to play Street Fighter. It's the ultimate way. Except no, so don't play those lame hand-drawn games. Kiss your butt goodbye when you take to the streets in the toughest street fighting game ever, featuring never before seen possible attacks and super combo moves, plus full motion video and digitized characters straight from the movie. Street Fighter the movie, the ultimate street fight begins. I don't think it was. But never before seen possible attack and super common moves. That is correct. This was the first Street Fighter game that had EX moves. I'll still never get used to saying that. Anyway, I think this is a solid ad, I guess. I think Sagat and Chun-Li are really good because they're just like in the black background and they look fine. But having this cutoff point for Van Damme is terrible. You really telling me Van Damme didn't take a bunch of oiled up, coked up pictures from a black screen? You could have just done that, used that. And, Raul Julia, the greatest of all time that ever did it. But I don't like the shot of him because it's just annoying with, again, how this gets cut off. You're mean to tell me you have no pictures of him either. Come on, Capcom. You could have done better than that. Anyway, considering the quality of the game, I think it's a pretty solid ad. This is also pretty solid, but I'm leaving it in here for one thing. Capcom vs. SNK for the Dreamcast. 2 monster corporations at war. 1 solution. A massive martial arts event. Millennium Fight 2000. Etc. etc. Some pretty decent screenshots using official art pretty well. Why is it the Jurassic Park font? Why? Tell me why. Time to settle the score once and for all. Free. What? Time to settle the score once and free for all. Who thought of this? I guess you're just trying to say it's a free-for-all, but it's not. It's an organized tournament. It's not a free-for-all. There's all these rules. There's a ratio system. It's not a free-for-all at all. So yeah, some of the colors in the background kind of bother me, but I like that they used this Ryu and Kyo art. So that's pretty cool. But other than that, I just hate this text so much. Kind of ruins it for me, but I guess it's passable. So there's lots and lots of Clay Fighter ads, but I need to take the time to talk about this one. Other people have talked about it before, but Clay Fighter. In the final combat, only the real heroes were left standing in the street. Clay Fighter always took the time to mock other fighting game ads and franchises, which is totally fine. That's kind of its raison d'etre. But I love just Ryu somehow his corpses fit into an entire trash can, so has Chunners. Poor Raiden is in a dumpster. Yes, Bonkers defeated Raiden. And for some reason, Clay Fighter took extra time to shit on World Heroes. World Heroes! Of course, the Bison hat there too. Really? World Heroes was a threat? Not Fatal Fury, not KOF. Was KOF even a thing? What is this? 93? Okay, KOF wasn't a thing yet. That's fine. But Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, Virtual Fighter, possibly? I don't know why you're shitting on World Heroes of all things. There's lots of other fighting games you could have taken a shot at. World Heroes are fine. Leave them alone, Clay Fighters. Anyway, I think this ad is awesome. Custom drawn artwork just for the ad.
Text isn't too intrusive. It's actually kind of funny. If you're looking for real heroes, Clay Fighter pulverizes them all. These outrageous Clay characters rule the street. They're the kings of combat. They'll put you in stitches. And those so-called heroes, come on, man, in the hospital. Join the Clay Fighters as they punch, kick, and fly and stomp their way through the most hilarious adventure ever. But don't be fooled by imitators, because Clay Fighter stands above them all. All in except in gameplay, I guess. I'd still rather play any of those games than the original Clay Fighter. But yeah, still solid ad. Clay Fighter did as much as they could with these types of mocking advertisements, and, you know, God bless them. This is the only... This is the only Criticom ad I could find, and it's like, play it on Saturn. Now, I didn't know this until recently. The Saturn version of Criticom is like actually a good deal worse than the PlayStation one, so I didn't even take time with that, but yeah. It will apparently run rings around Saturn. So are you dissing the Saturn? Because it sounds like you're fucking coming for the Saturn. Anyway, so it says Criticom down here a second time. It's unneeded. I do like how they actually got the developer's name in there, Kronos. That's kind of cool. This is use an official art. Obviously the scan is aged a little bit, so I guess it would look better with deeper blacks. But what the hell? Like, how are you even supposed to see this? What's going on here? I guess this is the robot character, but they just repurposed existing artwork and just kind of slapped it on there really, really quick because I don't think Criticom had a big marketing budget. Shocker, right? So yeah, I guess it's fine. I just think it's funny that Criticom even fucking had an ad. Like, did this convince you to buy Criticom back in the day? I kind of doubt it. Now, here is 90% of the ad that I'm about to show you. Still black screen, still black screen. So before I reveal this to you, this ad is 90% just black. Can you guess? Can you guess? All the brutality, carnage, and senseless violence of Darkstalkers. Only darker. So their ad is no ad. Fuck you. If the Paul marketing guy that designed this ad is watching this today, fuck you. I hope you step on a Lego. This is terrible. You think about all the godlike artwork that Night Warriors, Darkstalkers has, and this is what you thought. This is what was going to sell it. Nothing. Anyway, no, the screenshots are down here, but it's a moot point. It's so stupid. Just when you thought Darkstalkers had reached the ultimate evil, they're back in with a chilling twist. Night Warriors features new secret moves, multi-hit combos, dazzling animation, and even shadier characters. It's not really true. Both new characters in the game were like kind of hero characters and not inherently evil, but whatever. Now you'll have a terrifying encounter with 10 of your treacherous favorites while battling for your life with new or previously unplayable characters. So get ready to defend yourself in the world's deadly powers. You might survive to see the light. So I feel like an advertising agency said, what's the name of the game? What's it called? It's called Darkstalkers. Oh, gotcha. Just make it dark. Terrible, terrible, terrible ad. Speaking of terrible ads, there's this one that I remember. Uh-oh, what's going to happen to little guy? There's some sort of darkness happening. Oh, it's on the Darkstalkers ad. Darkstalkers welcome home. So I guess they really, really, really like the dark. So they stomped on this poor kid's nightlight. That's amazing. Godlike. Great. History's most feared monsters and mutants are bolting from the arcade in search of a dark arena for their next midnight fight for supremacy. Victor's coming over with a shocking thunderstrike. Felicia, blah, 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 litter box kick. Darkstalkers have come to fear and headed your way, along with hidden special moves, mid-air blocks, and super fatal blows to make your PlayStation smoke. So leave a light on for the Darkstalkers and take down your dad's bowling trophies. Raptor's flying saw blade has been slicing a little wild lately. Like, you're telling us about all this cool shit, and it's like, well, I guess, you know, like, really clench your eyes to see it. At least its screenshots are relevant to what it's talking about. But, like, look, this is a 3-page spread ad. Like, you had all this real estate, and this is what you thought of. This is the best you could have done. Ridiculous, ridiculous. I'm surprised Darkstalkers didn't die out after this ad and went on to have Night Warriors, because this was doing the game no favors. Gotta get Biofreaks in there. His left arm will put you in an ambulance, his right arm will put you in a dustbin. And you'll see this with some other Midway games that kind of did this marketing thing a couple of times. Biofreaks, the deadly fusion of man and machine. So I honestly will say this isn't terrible. Like, they're highlighting one of the characters. He is very 90s as hell, late 90s as hell. Become the freak of your choice. Destruct with robotic attachments, pulverizing arm cannons, waste opponents, hover in multi-level 3D arenas. I mean, I guess that's okay. Welcome to the not-too-distant future, where out of the ruins of our once peaceful nation come biofreaks, biologically enhanced, robotically implanted, with a mission to reunify Neo-America, one bloody chunk at a time. Honestly, not terrible. The green color scheme is kind of odd. You're not expecting to see it, but I guess it goes in with like the weird techno-organic neon feel that the game sort of has. But just highlighting this character, if you know this character's name, you know. But it's kind of incredible they put him front and center and not like Delta or Sabotage or any of the ladies or anything like that. But maybe this was part of an ad where they would highlight other characters like the Tekken one that we looked at earlier, but I don't know. Honestly, this is a better ad than Biofreaks deserves. Finally, we're getting to Fatal Fury Special for the Sega CD, which is actually a pretty good version of it. I included this because of this line. Sure, we offer a variety of more things, but it doesn't matter because you're still gonna get your butt kicked. What are you talking about? More things? What? I guess it's just saying like the special bit of Fatal Fury is like, hey, we have lots of cool shit in this game, but like it doesn't matter because you'll die. I don't know. It's really weird. Like KOF or Fatal Fury or SNK ads in general were never like too like out there, but they're also kind of just awkward. You know what I mean? Like they kind of always use the same sort of ads where it's kind of basic. But I guess I prefer that over the weird gross shit that we're going to be seeing in a little bit. So yeah, I guess it's fine. Here's what I'm talking about. It's bigger. It's meaner. Fatal Fury 2. Coming soon. Why have I put this ad in here? Because, that's as standard as you can get. Because of these little guys. I've never seen these things before. Little free action figures, the FAFs. Terry, Axel Hawk, and Big Bear. That's their actual size too. Axel Hawk and Big Bear are certainly choices. Terry, obviously a given, but you can have Joe, anybody? No? Be the first to have a cool Fatal Fury fighting buddy. Yeah, I wish I had a fighting buddy. Great for your room or locker. You'll have tons of fun showing him to friends. Plus, you'll get a free membership in the Takara Masters Video Club. So hurry, put 2 29-cent stamps on a self-addressed envelope to fucking Department FF2. New York, New York. The Takara Game Master will select a great fighter and send him to your house within 2 to 4 weeks. Amazing. So essentially this is just an ad for these figures. I bet you they just found a truckload of these in Japan somewhere and they just shipped them to America and they're like, yeah, you figure out what to do with this. I don't fucking know. And they just came up with this promotion. So that's pretty cool. A piece of Fatal Fury history I didn't know existed. Big ups to Guile Winquist for sending this over to me. So this kid, Malcolm, one of Malcolm's brothers here, is flabbergasted that Yamazaki is that is coming out of his Neo Pocket color, about to take a swipe at him. Yeah. You better believe it. Wait, believe what? Oh, because believe it. I guess this is going for a Naruto thing? You better believe it because it's here. Feel the power of Neo Geo Pocket. Powerful 16-bit color portable handheld. This is 146 colors simultaneously. Largest LCD screen with custom TFT format, as if anyone would know what that meant back then. Revolving 8-way joystick, over 40 hours of continuous gameplay on 2 AA batteries. Links with the Sega Dreamcast. I didn't even realize that. So yeah, it's King of Fighters R2. I can't believe that they went with Yamazaki for that, with all the characters you could have picked, so big ups for that. This is crazy. This is great. I don't even feel like this kid, and this was like this Neo Geo Pocket was photoshopped in his hands. I think he had something else in there, most likely like, I don't know, a Game Gear or something, and he's in black and white too. There's so many choices here, and none of them were good. I guess it's more of an ad for the Neo Geo Pocket, but have to include it because, Yamazaki.
So here's the one ad I could find for War Gods. Kabuki Joe, feared medieval samurai, seeks hardcore badass sociopaths for a fight to the death, must have supernatural powers, paralyzing containment spells, and the brass ones to unleash brutal 10-hit combinations and gruesome bloody fatalities. Spineless mama's boys need not respond. Oh my god. This is an example of maybe don't use your characters as a selling point, because I don't think many fucking War Gods characters have that sort of appeal, and at least I'm not Kabuki Show. It's just a gigantic portrait of him. At least have him doing a cool move or something. I know, like a one-page ad, it's like, okay, well, I can't do too many crazy things. You can do better than this. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, not even a screenshot of it. I'm shocked that War Gods didn't sell well. I'm shocked. All right, any guesses about what this game will be? Help, I've been dismembered and I can't get up. You know, nothing goes like peanut butter and jelly than Urkel and fucking fighting games. So there's some type of razor blade in someone's bones. As you can see, this is actually for Kasumi Ninja. And look how small the Kasumi Ninja logo is. It's a 2-page spread. And that's what they decided to do it for. So yeah, a couple screenshots there. I guess that's fine. I guess they're not too small in the grand scheme of things. So you may have to walk with a slight limp, and people might call you lefty or stomp. All things considered, though, you got off lucky. It's just the way things go when you play Kasumi Ninja, the first 32 meg fighting game for the 64-bit Atari Jaguar. Yeah, do the math. Things get graphic, all right. There are death moves like scalping, kicks that puncture lungs, and enough blood to make a surgeon hurl. But unlike other fighting games, there's a point to all this carnage. Beating your opponent means you sharpen your fighting techniques and acquire secret items that'll help you through a 3D labyrinth for your final battle with Gyaku, the possessed ninja elder. So after you maim Gyaku and butcher whatever else might come your way, you win. Isn't that worth a limb or two? How is that different than any other fight? You beat the boss, yeah? And terrible ad. It's like confusing. The text is all over the place. You got the fucking Diablo font running here. You have like 3 different fonts. The purple color scheme is strange. One giant screenshot. It's all over the place. But I guess it like goes with the unhinged nature of Kasumi Ninja. But still, yeah, it's a bad ad. Speaking of bad ads, this one is for obviously KI. I remember this one. This is actually for a hidden game tip. You fold it over. I forget what this is actually supposed to be, but let's read it first. Killer Instinct delivers all the excess you get in the arcade on your own Super NES. A state-of-the-art 16-bit butcher shop, served with all the splat goo and uncensored mayhem. What the So go ahead, bypass the quarter slot. KI is here. Plenty of killer moves in every box of KI. Losers need not apply. Right in your ass. ACM technology, advanced computer modeling, so it makes the fighters look so lifelike. Yeah, when I look at Jago or Orchid, I think lifelike. And we mean unlifelike or reptile-like. I do appreciate that they give a shout out to Killer Cuts. For a limited time, you get a CD of the game music, free cuts to go with your cheap shots. For 1 and 2 players, so find a friend and proceed to humiliate them. More killer combos you can shake a stump at. All the bodily fluids are intact. So clean up after yourself, will ya? I like how Nintendo was kind of like, oh, we didn't censor it. We promised we didn't. What else can we say? Except it's all in 16-bit, so bag the new system, bud. Don't buy that PlayStation garbage. That's going nowhere. What's with this weird, like, effect? It's the Super Nintendo farting? What is that? So when you fold this over, you kind of connect this side with this side. So the secret game tip says, kiss your over here butcher shop, and then the T over here, kiss your butt goodbye. And then this over here and these weird effects over there show like a little kissy lips.
What the hell? So you lied and said you're going to give us a hidden game tip, like, I don't know, like put in the code to select idle or some shit. No, you just tell us to kiss our butts goodbye. First of all, Nintendo, I didn't want to do a fucking Einstein project when I'm doing your ad, okay? No kid is going to be like, oh yeah, I want to do this, fun. No, that's homework. That's stupid. Terrible ad. Guess what? This is going to be the first of all the terrible KI ads that Nintendo came up with. So hold on to your butts. This is what I'm talking about. This is so fucking stupid. What? Who thought this was okay? Dead meat. Enjoy it wherever you go. Killer Instinct is now on Game Boy. Okay. They hired this poor man who probably wasn't even told what the fuck he was doing. So you just use the game box there. He's like, I don't get it. What? And they're like, shut up. So yeah, there's a Game Boy. There's the colors. There's Flank of Fulgore, Brisket Orchid, Saber Wolf, Skirt Steak, Spinal Spare Ribs. But there's all this meat on it. He's a fucking skeleton. Ground Glacius. I can't even tell you why this is so fucked up. That's so stupid. Top Steak Thunder. Filet Jago. And then they just gave up with that. They're like, fuck it. You don't care. It's like, how did KI on Super Nintendo? Well, okay, this is with a Game Boy. But how did KI even become like as big as it did with these fucking ads? These insane Nintendo marketing executives being like, oh yeah, this will sell. Guess what? We're not over with the KI weird meat analogies. Because now we have this one for the Super Nintendo. Ground Chuck. Chuck just got Killer Instinct. What? What are you saying to me? Chuck's taken one too many plasma slices to the face, one too many cyber gashes to your groin. But all is not lost, because with this Killer Instinct cartridge, he got a Killer Cuts game music CD and a free limited edition cap. Oh, I want that cap real bad. Maybe Max has one. I can steal it. Instead of KI's wicked ACM graphics and 9 brutal fighting machines weren't enough, actually it was for Chuck. Just ask him. On second thought, maybe not. What do you mean 9 brutal fighting machines? There's 11 characters in Killer Instinct. There's 10 standard characters and like 1 boss that you can select. So I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that. I think it might be a mistake and they're thinking that they're talking about the Game Boy version, which had less characters. I don't know, but 9 brutal fight machines is just super wrong, so I don't know. This is back in Nintendo's Play It Loud days. You can tell by its stupid butcher's knife in there. I forgot about this hat though. I mean, I had a KI medallion that I got beat up at school for wearing, because you can just imagine. It's this gold medallion that I sent away with Nintendo Power Force. So that was my life. Anyway, this is another terrible ad. So that's all 3 KI ads. They're all uniquely terrible, but all have these weird meat things going on. Was the marketing guy that designed these like just really hungry one day for raw meat? What the hell? So I remember this ad. She's liable to steal your heart if she doesn't rip it out first. Shiva, bitches. Hot as fuck. Meet Shiva, the 4-armed, red-eyed wonder girl of your dreams. Isn't she a beauty? Haven't you always wanted a girl who could set you on fire? Well, now you can have her. Since MK3 is coming home on Super NES, Game Boy, Game Gear, and Sega Genesis. There's a lot of loving in these 4 arms. Enjoy. Combat code. Write it down, kids. You never know. So all of the screenshots are Shiva coded, so that's nice. But yeah, this is just such a weird ad where they did this negative photo thing. Why not just show the character? Why not? I think this might have actually been the little puppet. Maybe that's why. Maybe the puppet looks really shitty when you zoom in on a photo of it. And they're like, oh fuck, that looks bad. We gotta use Shiva as our Sophia or whatever. Like, the portrait art's probably gonna look okay because it's been touched up for the game, but maybe that's what they're thinking. MK3 ads were kind of all over the place, and I do like how the combat codes infiltrated everything, but other than that, this is just kind of strange. I don't know, like, it didn't really do much service to the character, but at least it's getting Shiva over. Everyone should be talking about Shiva more, I think. Big ups to Ketchup for sending this to me.
I asked, do you know any of weird Mortal Kombat ads? He's like, there's this one. He thinks it might have been Valentine's Day themed because Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance came out around Valentine's Day. Anyway, what's the story being told here? Is this man dead? Has she just murdered someone? She has blood on her hands, but she's wiping it on him. Is she supposed to be Mileena? Well, she can't be because Melina's not in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. It's in us all. I guess it's just saying she's like really into Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. So she's like a killer, I guess. 5 stars loaded, whatever the hell that means. A truly excellent fighter. Nintendo GameCube. So yeah, really weird. It absolutely does not sell the game whatsoever. I think it's terrible. A terrible ad. Anything that uses real actors where they're just not dressed like the characters and they're just standing around doing some weird shit, like it's always going to be an absolute crap fest that completely misses the appeal of the games. Again, you've had a giant render of a character doing something cool, but no, let's just have a really weird shot of 2 people embracing. That's Mortal Kombat, right? So yeah, anyone that was involved, especially the actors here, they should all be ashamed of themselves, I think. Ooh, this one's cool. This is an old school Sam Show ad for the 3DO version, which crazily enough was ported by Crystal Dynamics. Isn't that wild? Make no mistake, this ain't some chaise lounge reclining, cocktail sipping affair. Samurai Showdown, the 3DO brings home all the badassness of the arcade original. Sure, we could have softened the carnage-intensive graphics, but we didn't. And sure, we could have left out the brutal, bone-shattering gameplay, but that sucked. And yeah, I suppose we could have even caved in and lost some of that freaking arterial spray, but hey, we broke a few rules, so sue us and hack to your little heart's content. But be careful, with 32 bits, you could poke an eye out if you're lucky. Just another afternoon by the pool of blood. Get what I was... Anyway, so I think this is just so 90s as fuck, but even though it's not really trying to sell a character, at least it's giving a hint of what you can expect. Making sure to use an arterial spray, which was definitely missing from Sam Show games later on, especially 2019. I'll always remember this box art for Samurai Showdown because I'd always see it at the rental store and in the very small 3DO section, just showing photographs of all the weapons. I thought that was kind of cool. I would have preferred Haomaru standing in front of the ocean, but whatever. At least they got something that looks kind of decent, and they knew they couldn't pull off the rest of Haomaru or any of the characters' looks, so they just kind of were like, that's good enough. And the blood's not too graphic, it's just kind of hinted at with the reflection. It's actually kind of cool, and this is mwah, all of this. Whoever wrote this should get a raise. Any idea what this bombed out hovel is supposed to be representing? This is, again, 90% of the ad. It's just this photograph. You're never going to be able to guess this, not a million years. I mean, I guess if you haven't seen this ad before, but this is an ad for Street Fighter Alpha. What the hell? All this amazing fucking artwork, all these like screenshots you could have blown up to look really cool. And let's just take a random picture out of a National Geographic. Like, where is this from? It's kind of fucked up depending on where the world it's from. And I guess it's just kind of saying you could live in a horrible situation, but at least you can play Street Fighter Alpha. No, you can't. There's no electricity going in this place. 100%, possibly the greatest fighting game of all time. Flawless controls, perfect arcade to PlayStation translation. At least there's some decent screenshots that are in color. I don't know why the Capcom logo is thrown there. It's not supposed to be there. If you think you've mastered Street Fighter's brutality, I wouldn't think brutality is what you use to describe Street Fighter, especially Alpha. Brace yourself. Straight from the #1 arcade hit, Street Fighter Alpha combines state-of-the-art graphics with all new hidden attacks and multi-level super combos. Match up in head-to-head battles or lock into 2-player combat with 12 of the deadliest Street Fighters of all time. 9 are your favorites from Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, and Final Fight. There are vicious new additions with blazing speed and secret moves. You already talked about secret moves. Adds up to a new walk on the dangerous side of the street, now located right in your neighborhood. Like, I don't even know what to say. This might be like the worst ad ever. When you think about what's appealing about Street Fighter Alpha,
And they, again, 2-page spread. Oh, let's put it this on. Like, what? I think this might be the worst ad. I'm just, let me know if you agree in the comments. But man, like, considering the game, considering the franchise, considering what you could have done, like, straight garbage trash. So I'll let Mai stare into your soul with her judging gaze. This is an ad for KOF Maximum Impact. So Quarter Circle Punch has never looked so good. So she would just be doing Kachosen then, but she's shooting like a weird fireball. I don't know. That's not a move that she does. Anyway, this pretty much does everything. It looks pretty good. Using the boobies to the best of their abilities to sell the game. Using a character, obviously. I don't mind. This down to forward punch has never looked so good. That's pretty funny. Mai Shiranui, she signed her own poster, I guess. The synthesis of breathtaking 3D animation with the heart and soul of a 2D classic now complete. Are you fucking kidding me with that? You're saying Maximum Impact has the heart and soul of KOF? Okay. 14 classic fighters, 5 new warriors, lightning quick combos. They were made sure to pick the right character for that. It's not a bad ad at all. I don't think. I would say that Mai's expression is kind of strange. She's kind of looking a little crazy there. I don't know. Like, she almost has the Shinkiro like man eyes where every eye looks the same, like no matter what drawn and what expression. So that's kind of weird. I think they could have done with a better render of her, but otherwise it's still what you'd expect from a 2000s era advertisement. So, you know, KOF Maximum Impact is like one of SNK's highest selling games ever of all time. I'm not sure where it lands on the scale of everything, but for a long time it was the highest selling KOF in like North America or whatever. So, you know, take that for what you will. All right, only a few more left. Born in arcades, abused, caged, and brought to your homes. This is Fighting Vipers. Body spank foes through cage walls. Gotcha. Beat strip opponents' arbor. And arcade smash hit certifiably psychotic characters. They're not that crazy. Anyway, learn the true meaning of rage. Fighting Vipers, the most vicious street fighters ever to terrorize arcades, now on the way to your home. Skate punks, rollerbladers, axe-wielding rockers, caged, enraged, and ready to fight filthy. Killer armor-stripping slams, nasty moves that blow combatants through cage walls and into oblivion. Brutality, carnage, kick-butt realism, funky venues, arenas with electric and razor wire fences, fatal distractions, real-time shadows. It's all here. Real-time shadows, are you real? Amazing. Honestly, this isn't too bad. The text isn't going too much. The screenshots are the highlight, and it's really trying to get over the brutality of the combat and everything. So I think it's fine. It's also an only for Sega Saturn, which obviously needed all the help it could get at that point. I think it is overselling the violence a little bit, where it's like trying to imply that there's like blood, which there very much is not. So yeah, I guess, you know, Fighting Vipers could have had like a domestic abuse ad, so it could have been worse. So yeah, this is solid. So yeah, this is you know, possibly another famous one. Right? The true master only engages the worthy opponent. What do you think this is an ad for? It is an ad for Virtua Fighter 4, the one true-to-life martial arts fighting game. So, what is this? The PlayStation 2, the third place. I don't know if that's part of the logo. I don't know if that's whoever scanned this. I'm not really sure. Anyway, that's weird. Think about how much of this ad has anything to do with Virtua Fighter. I get what it's saying. That's whatever. But like, yeah, squint over here and we can possibly see all these cool ass characters. Why don't you have like 2 actors dressed up and take a photo in the park and have them fighting? And like have people like looking at, I don't know anything to sell the character, sell the game. This doesn't sell anything. It just sells that like this guy has got like an ironclad dick that just doesn't take damage, I guess. I don't know. Very, very stupid. You know, you'd think they'd be beyond this type of stuff in the 2000s or whatever, but no, certainly not. So yeah, another loser ad from Sega. So good stuff, guys. Fuck yeah, we got Dark Rift in the house. I decided to add this because Eve be nimble, Eve be quick, or Eve be sliced by
honestly, this is probably one of the better ads anywhere. This is a little too silly, obviously. You could have made this more foreboding or brutal or something instead of going for a penis joke. But look, nice artwork right in the center. It looks good. I don't really care for the white around the text there. Dark Rift. Some cool screenshots. Also, it's coming out for the PC CD-ROM. Dark Rift brings out the best in people. Eve works her butt off to turn Gore into a meaty pincushion. Gore busts his gut to move Eve into the path of his axe. And you'll need your best because Dark Rift gives it up. Dark Rift delivers more fight, more often with more speed than you have ever seen before. Check out Dark Rift N64 Windows 95 and get flesh-scorching projectiles, hyper-quick 10-hit combos, blazing frame rates, which is true, and some very unpleasant surprises for the competition. This is certainly a step up from the Criticom ad for the Saturn. Aside from what I was saying about this, but then again, it does make it kind of stupidly memorable, so who am I to judge? So this has to be one of the most bizarre ads we've ever seen, just because it's like, whoa, all right. Now, you don't remember this character? She is from World Heroes. I forgot her name. Angel? Charlotte? Doesn't matter. Life's a bitch. Want to fight about it? What? How'd they get away with saying that? Super Nintendo. This is an American ad, because the PAL boxes look different, did they not? Life's a bitch. Want to fight about it? And she's slicing the Life's a bitch sign. I mean, points for, like, you know, pushing the envelope in terms of language. It takes a real ballsy motherfucker to be like, yeah, we're running with this. And SNK is like, okay, whatever you say. We're paying you. Did John Romero say this? Anyway, really bizarre picture of her that I've never seen before. That's crazy. And I love how cartoon-esque this fight is. It's so strange to see. I've never seen this ad before. Researching for this video, it's just crazy to see. Well, it is using a character and it's got an eye-catching thing. It's like no screenshots of the game at all, no little text describing what you're even doing in World Heroes. Clay Fighter should have ripped this off and parodied this because it's just so strange. And like, I don't know, her anatomy is kind of funky, don't you think? I don't know, she should see a doctor about this. Something's going wrong with this. Anyway, this is the one World Heroes ad that I've ever seen. So enjoy it, take it all in, because there's a lot to see. And our last ad comes from Mr. Guile Winquote. He collects ads like this, he loves them. This is a Tekken 4 ad. Nothing comes close to being the aesthetics of Tekken 4, right? So this is, I guess, like, you know, an ad for Spanish markets. And that's all I can really tell you. Round 2 fight. Okay. I think it's trying to imply, like, getting to the second base, right? One day I hope to get there. Anyway, I don't know what this has to do with Tekken. Like, even this, like, in my limited amount of language, I don't think this really has anything to do with anything that's going on here. Just round 2 fight. Why is it in English then as well? So that's kind of strange. You know, it's not even a character from the game. Maybe if it was Nina or Anna or something, or Christy, I don't know. Maybe that could have made a little bit more sense. But yeah, in the 2000s, I think they even went harder on sex for the most part. And like in some ways, maybe not in every single ad, but you would see it quite a bit. Like it would, I think there was a jump up in the 2000s versus the 1990s and such. So yeah, leaving on the sublime aesthetics of Tekken 4. This is what the game gave us. So yeah, bravo Tekken 4. You are certainly the classiest of the Tekkens. So that is my roundup of Fighting Game Magazine advertisements. Do let me know what you thought of this in the comments below if you'd like to see more. There's still a good amount, I'd say, to go through. I purposely stayed away from like commercials and stuff because we might do that in the future. I don't know. There's plenty there to chew and laugh and cringe through. So yeah, it was a wild time back then. We even get into like the later 2000s and stuff. There's a bunch of weird Street Fighter 4 ads. Obviously Mortal Kombat kept going. So there certainly is more to examine there. So yeah, let me know in the comments below and I'll see if I can get some of that button bashing goodness to you.
1, 2, 3, 4, turn the beat back.